back from Once Upon a Time. This is episode 13 of season 4. Really excited to get back into the show, so what's going to happen next as we delve more into the second half of the season. We have Gold back in Storybook with the Queens of Darkness, I think they're called. And they seem to be on a journey to get Maleficent involved in things now, so I'm excited to see exactly what that's going to entail. We also had a very interesting development with Mary Margaret and David, who seem to have a bit of history with Cruella and Ursula and everything. So exactly what that's all about, I'm excited to find out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying where this arc's going at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next, and let's get into the next one. Oh!
A lovely child. You won't have a family left to hurt.
Wow.
We get them the hell out of this town before anyone else learns what we did.
What did you do? Did you snap one of her horns?
Didn't you once rip out the heart of every villager in the North Woods? Or was it the South? Why don't you head to my office, get started on the book? Hook?
Line and sinker.
You come to kidnap me again? Oh, did we do that? Oh, they all blur together. No, you are. Congratulations in defeating the Dark One.
Oh, so she still has those. That's good.
Take quite a number on
How long are they? Where are you hiding them? Ooh.
Yes, he's a man.
Do you intend to buy something, or did you just come here to be cruel?
Well, as a matter of fact,
It is in her name.
I was hoping you'd have a
Oh my god, her phone case.
ornament for my vehicle. Something with a little bit.
That bodes well.
Your slumber is nearly over.
Yay.
Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever be as happy as I was when it was just you, me, Robin, and Roland. That feeling was the closest I'd ever been to happy.
Bring him back.
August edited the book.
Oh yeah, he did.
He wanted Emma to know he was Pinocchio as a boy.
The tree's knowledge is protected. Its wisdom can only be unlocked by two of the most valiant heroes.
Which is why you need us.
Are you coming to the tree?
Map to its
She really has a curse as dark as they say. The entire kingdom is in danger. What choice do we have?
Well, spoilers, they don't stop the curse. Oh.
Anything?
Does that have something to do with what you want to hide, so you're not going to say?
First clean.
Aww.
Where's Maleficent?
Oh dear. Did she get all dragony? She got all dragony. Dracarys!
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah, your attitude. And your fiery breath.
I never had the chance to ask you how exactly you know Ursula.
I already told you, love. She's just one of the many sea monsters who crossed my path in my pirating days.
What exactly does that mean?
Crossed your path, eh?
Oh, I should get back to it.
Uh-oh.
Joey, which one?
Good, everyone has a past with everyone. Maybe I know Ursula, I don't know.
2 hours ago, you guys were so amped up about these divas, you didn't even let me eat lunch, and now you're
Going for a hike. We got Ashley to babysit me.
David, is this really the right thing to do?
Doubt it.
It's the only way to make sure Emma doesn't find out the truth.
She's gonna find out the truth, guys. Just telling you now.
But since you and August spent so much time together, I thought seeing you would jog his memory.
Yeah. I guess I could give it a shot. Come here.
You're gonna remember, you're gonna remember.
Right? You rode a motorcycle, you wore brother and didn't shave.
Regina.
No, he's not
Didn't
trying
shave.
hard enough. All you need to do is concentrate and think.
Regina, he's just a kid now.
Still made out of wood.
Oh, stop.
Let's go down to the vending machine and get a snack. Henry, come on.
Boy, eat a Snickers, Regina.
You stay away from my boy.
Oh, heck. Could have handled that better, I won't lie.
Ready?
Oh, look how small her hand is.
How can we stop the Evil Queen's curse?
Oh! Well.
We did it. We stopped them.
Not exactly.
Surprise! Oh! Not the stunt doubles.
August never told me nothing.
Will you shut up and just let me finish? I'm
Trying to
trying
apologise.
to apologize.
Well, go on. You're off to an interesting start.
Look, if someone talked to Henry the way I spoke to your boy, I would have done a lot worse than yell at them.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
Oh. How far she's come.
Perhaps something in here will help you find what you're looking for.
Oh, could have started with that.
Good luck.
Oh. What a wholesome man.
How did I not see it sooner?
Can just walk,
The
you know.
sparkle in your eyes, the glow of your snow-white skin. You're positively radiant, my dear.
You don't know.
Pregnant?
You're carrying a child.
Surprise!
Why would our child prevent us from meeting an answer?
You may be heroes, but that doesn't mean your child will be.
Careful, witch.
Your heroes who banged.
Your child is the product of true love, the potential for great darkness. Your child
Yeah.
might turn out to be just like us.
Ah, that's what Gold was talking about last episode. The thing was after Emma, wasn't it?
Darker than...
The tentacles are bored.
Charming's
I have a
on.
feeling they have...
Oh dear.
The blood from the people who wronged her most. We're too late.
Oh dear.
It's good to be back.
I had a feeling she was going to say that.
I only care about one thing. Your pain. And that it be as long and terrible and unyielding as my own. The pain you caused.
I forgot how much I missed her. It's good to be entertaining.
I'm gonna revel in every...
We have to tell Emma everything.
Yes. As long as that means I find out.
Whatever you did, you're not that person anymore. It's not going to change anything between us.
That's quite a lot of faith you're putting on me, Swan.
I know. And there's a reason for it. My parents had this moment to them, right?
Aww.
Of course not, my parents would never lie to me. But the fact that I could think that they would...
They're not going to tell her now, are they?
This tendency to...
I hate this trope. Ah.
I don't intend to let you down.
Don't say that kind of thing.
I don't get it. Why are these witches waging war against us? Because they're villains. And we're heroes.
The Lord is testing me today.
You and I are about to be mothers.
You're pregnant.
Now you get why we must
Oh.
stop this curse. For our children. If we
Who's the
work
dad?
together, we will find...
But we won't compromise who we are to do it.
Not yet.
Become like you.
Should have known fish sticks and pound puppy were here for more than a second chance.
We want you to go undercover with them and help us stop their plans.
And you think
Oh.
they're just...
Regina, you once asked me to keep a secret. And I couldn't. But I'm gonna ask you to keep one from me. I mean, Emma can never learn.
Oh. how many episodes until Emma learns it?
What is it? I just believed you could be.
Oh.
She's finally starting to open up her heart. And if she learns the truth,
Oh
if we
no.
let her down,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Holy shit.
going back.
Oh my. Oh, it's her baby's rattle? Oh.
Because of us. Maleficent lost her child.
Not just like in the woods or something. Oh, Jesus. Okay, pretty good episode overall. I really liked that one. I enjoyed the continuing focus on Gul's plans with Maleficent and Ursula and Cruella. I'm really enjoying those kind of characters all grouped together actually as villains. I'll admit I wasn't expecting the Ursula tentacles in present day kind of stuff, but there we go. At least it's not like the full blown costume, because that's still very pantomimey to me. But I'm enjoying them more and more as the more we see of them. I think they have a lot of interesting stories. I like how they've kind of woven a lot of backstory with them into characters we already know and really care about. So Ursula has some kind of backstory with Hook, which is kind of interesting, and I imagine they explore a bit more at some point, because that was kind of a lot of tension, you know, for Emma and Hook in this episode. So that's kind of cool. They're linked in some sort of way. You kind of get excited to find out a bit more of that, so therefore you're excited to see more of Ursula. And this whole kind of backstory that the three women all have with Mary Margaret and David as well, and the fact that somehow Mary Margaret and David caused Maleficent to lose her baby. Man, that might get dark. So I wasn't expecting that to be exactly what they did, so I am intrigued as to exactly how that all went down and what happened there. I'm sure we'll get a lot of those answers fairly soon. But yeah, that's a really, really interesting idea and an interesting twist, and the fact that Maleficent is now back in the storybook and alive again. And it seems they're going to do a lot more with her than just, I'm a big dragon, you can kill me now. You know, I think they're going to add a lot more layers to her, which is going to be cool to see, because I think that's something they desperately needed to do with Maleficent. So very excited about that. I mean, how they all kind of tricked Mary Margaret and David into actually going down to try and like destroy her ashes, but they needed their blood and they played themselves basically. So how that was all played out, and just continue to kind of escalate the threat. Obviously we didn't get loads of gold in this episode, he was just kind of working from the background while everyone else does their thing, but it's cool to see. I liked a few of their interactions with like not getting orders at Granny's was kind of funny. They did have a few good lines, so I'm really enjoying what they're bringing to the table as villains so far. And now Maleficent's kind of joined them again, and she has this really personal vendetta, because Snow White has once again caused someone to lose the person they love. You know, Regina lost David. Is it David? Might have been David. Whatever her true love was called in season 1. I can't remember now. But, you know, she kind of lost him because of Snow White. And then now Maleficent had lost someone because of Snow White and Prince Charming as well. So that's kind of intriguing to me. I'm looking forward to seeing them explore that a lot more, because the fact there's like a real personal vendetta and personal connection there, I think that's a story you can get a lot more invested in than just, I'm evil, so I want power. That's a very generic story. So I'm glad that that's not what this is, and there's a lot of different layers to this. I really thought this was very cleverly written. You know, Mary's kind of speech to Regina at the end there, and how that was overlapping with all the different plots that were going on. The fact that Ursula seems to have a past with like more than one person. Parallels of your past kind of coming back to haunt you with Mary Margaret and David. Also with Regina kind of facing Ursula and Cruella again. She didn't want Henry to see that. Pinocchio and his past as August and all of that. There's a lot of really interesting parallels throughout this episode, and I thought they did that very well. And how Emma was kind of having some tension with Hook because he was holding something back from her, and then she was going through the same thing with her parents, but then she kind of believed them, and that prevented Mary Margaret and David from telling Emma the truth, which is a bit of an annoying trope. That does annoy me when that happens in TV shows, but we'll see what happens, because that's definitely, it's going to raise the stakes even higher, and it's going to be an even mightier fall when Emma does inevitably find out, because it's a TV show. So I am looking forward to seeing exactly the ins and outs of that story and exactly what that means and everything. So yeah, that was all very, very good stuff with those lot and the flashbacks with them. How they found out that Mary Margaret, Snow White, was pregnant with Emma. That was a cool little way of that getting revealed as well. And how they kind of tied back in that whole story all the way back to before Regina even cast that first curse. I liked that, because I'd forgotten that Regina actually stole the curse from Maleficent, didn't she? So that was cool. They brought that back into it. This is another episode that heavily focused on how much Regina has changed from the person she was. So the fact that the flashbacks were kind of set during Regina probably at her worst and like her most villainous was really, really cool. I did like how she did kind of snap at Pinocchio a bit, where she wasn't getting anywhere with him trying to remember things, and Geppetto standing up for Pinocchio as well was great. And I really like Geppetto. It's kind of sad that we don't get to see a lot more of him, but really lovely scene between Regina and Geppetto at the end there, and just kind of an examination of how far she's come, and the fact that she apologised and everything was really nice. And Henry seems to have found a clue in August's bag, so we're getting a bit more momentum with that story with the author, which is again another thing I'm very, very interested in about this season, and I can't wait for them to explore a lot more with that. I'd like that to be like the dominant storyline in an episode fairly soon, but the fact that there's definitely some movement and escalation there is really cool, and the fact that they brought Pinocchio and Geppetto back into it and revisited that storyline, that was great, because there's so many characters to explore in Once Upon a Time, and some often do get left in the background, but at least they don't completely neglect them completely and never ever bring them back. So it was a nice little treat to see Pinocchio and Geppetto and everything, and I really liked how they kind of played into this story, and echoing back to events in season 1 and 2 that we saw, much like the flashbacks did. So how that all tied up, I thought was really, really cool. And just a running theme of parents and their children, and the potential for losing their children. So we had Maleficent and her child. We had Regina not wanting Henry to kind of be reminded of the person she used to be when she was a villain. And we have Mary Margaret and David not wanting Emma to find out what they did, and potential for losing their daughter. And how they kind of explored more of this potential for darkness within Emma that they did discuss in the last episode, where that creature was actually after Emma, not Regina. So I think that's going to be more of a thing, and maybe Emma finding out what Mary Margaret and David did, and the fact that they lied to her when she believed her parents never would. Maybe that's going to set her down a bad path. Or there was still that tension with her and Hook in this episode, and I'm glad they kind of came to a sort of a resolution with that. But she still didn't know exactly what happened, and neither do we yet. So maybe it was something truly terrible. Maybe just all these people kind of betraying her trust or something is going to send her down a dark path or something, because they're definitely hinting more and more that there is darkness in Emma, so it's inevitably going to come out at some point. I'm going to get a bit of it in the first half of when the Snow Queen was really pushing her, and her powers kind of hurt David and everything. So they've actually been building that for a while, and I'm really intrigued as to seeing where that's going to go, because we have it's interesting that we have two of the big villains in the show, in the earlier seasons were Regina and Hook. Those two have kind of really redeemed themselves and changed loads, and the heroes of the story since the start have been Mary Margaret and David and Emma, and now they all seem to have this potential for darkness, and they're doing these bad things and lying and everything, and they're kind of going down a worse path, whereas Regina and Hook are kind of going on the up. So that's kind of a really interesting switch, and I like how they're doing that. Henry continued to help Regina out. I liked their scenes together in this one, and the fact that he found the clue at the end there. Very excited to see that storyline continued. And Mary Margaret opening up to Regina at the end, trying to keep this secret. Again, just another secret that is being kept from Emma. So there's going to be some real escalation there. I'm excited to see what that's going to entail, but I did enjoy Regina's kind of frustration in this episode, in the fact that her quest to get a happy ending is kind of foiled at every single turn. And yeah, she did not handle the situation brilliantly with Pinocchio, but she immediately apologised, and I like the fact that she owns up to her mistakes now, and she is actively aware of the person she used to be, and she doesn't want to become that person anymore. I really, really do like that. She's had such a fantastic arc, I think, so far in the show, and I can't wait to see them continue that. If she ever did become truly villainous again, I'd be really, really disappointed. But I don't think they will do that, especially because they've kind of done that with Gold anyway. It would suck if they do it with Regina as well, but I don't think they're going to. But I think it's a great arc that they've given her. I really do love Regina a lot now. So yeah, really good stuff with all of that, and just how all these separate storylines have kind of had this running theme of like parents and children and hiding the past and your past coming back to haunt you. I just thought that was done in a really clever way. It was some very nice writing, I would say, with that. And again, just another idea of and hints that the writers have really thought this out on this arc, and they even laid hints for this kind of thing with Emma's darkness in like the previous arc with the Snow Queen. So I really did like that. Then Belle and Will Scarlet. That was unexpected. I panicked when I first saw that because I was like, oh my god, have I skipped an episode? But I don't think I have. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, that was bloody quick. I mean, good for Belle for moving on quickly because, you know, Gold wasn't the best husband. I guess they're getting a divorce. And of course Gold had to be there to witness it. And that's what you get for stalking your estranged wife, Gold. That's what you get. I imagine they're going to explore a bit more of how that pairing came about. Because that seems really out of nowhere to me. I'm not entirely against it. I mean, it would give Will Scarlet some more screen time, because I think he's main cast, isn't he? Will Scarlet's like main cast on the show, and he's barely in it. So that might give him something to do, and it's nice to see Belle potentially like move on and find some happiness with someone else, even if I don't think it will necessarily last. We'll have to wait and see, but that's an interesting pairing nonetheless, and I'm sure they'll explain exactly how feelings developed there and how they got close and everything, and we'll see a lot more of that. But yeah, I'd be scared for Will at the minute, because Gold will probably be out for blood now. But that was one of the biggest twists of the episode for me. So we'll see what happens with that. It's kind of an interesting thing, but we'll have to see more of it. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. It just seemed like there was no build up to that, and then like, oh, boom. It's like the writers were like, oh, who's single at the minute? You can be with Belle. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, overall, just a really, really great episode. I really enjoyed it, and the return of Maleficent's really cool. I'm really enjoying the three of them as like the villains and working with Gold and everything. That's really cool. The whole Mary Margaret and David mystery still kind of continuing, because we don't know everything about that story yet and exactly how they caused Maleficent to lose her child. But I like that it's a very personal kind of story and connection with those characters. How that tied into Ursula seeming to have a past with Hook, and that caused tension with Emma, and then that led Mary Margaret and David to not tell Emma about the secret, and it all connected really, really well. Seeing Pinocchio and Geppetto again was great, and how that tied into Regina's ever going on arc about redemption and trying to get a happy ending and everything. And yeah, we did get a bit more of momentum with that author storyline, so I'm very happy with that. And yeah, I'm very intrigued to see exactly what Mary Margaret and David did to Maleficent to lose her child. But we got a lot of answers in this one, which is cool. And there's some really interesting kind of setups for like Emma's potential for darkness and everything. It's definitely going to lead to something very, very interesting. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, really great episode. Very excited to see what's going to be happening with the rest of the season. How many episodes do we have left? Like 8 or 9, I think now. So yeah, still plenty of time to explore these different things, but I really enjoyed everything that had going on in this episode, and all the themes, everything very well written and tied together, all these different parallels between all the stories, and I'm excited to see where they're going with this. But yeah, great episode, and until next reaction, thanks for watching.